Coach, obviously, I know rebound's a big focus for you, and they got the better on the boards tonight. What made them so tough on the glass?
Oh, they send 4 on most possessions, and we've been facing teams that have been really aggressive on the offensive glass, Justin. The last couple of games, I mean, Presbyterian did that. Last night we saw that with Illinois, but I think the athleticism and the ability to pursue the ball with Arkansas is just a little bit different than what we've seen the last couple of nights. Audie's Tony's like a nightmare to try to box him out. I mean, you look down, he has 6 offensive rebounds. He was just extremely impressive. We had a difficult time with him, but it wasn't only him, as you mentioned. I mean, Jalen Williams had 3, Devontae Davis has 2, and Kamani Johnson has 2. I mean, 18 offensive rebounds. And I think that and our turnovers are the things that'll stick out statistically. And we had some really costly turnovers there down the stretch, but our ability to get the ball probably, is the difference in a possession or 2. And it's you lose a game by 2 possessions. That's the kind of stuff you're going to talk about and think about.
All right, Keith.
Coach Jeremiah had a bit of an off night. Was he, out of sorts tonight, just an off night, or were they doing something defensively to take him out of the game?
No, they did a nice job on it. And I think this is, part of, there's 2 things. One, we got to do a better job of having some packages to put him in position to score when he gets guarded the way that he was guarded tonight. But they put Audie's Tony on him, and they tried to guard John with their 4-man, which, freed John up. And you see him got a lot of looks early in the game because of that. But they took Audie's Tony on him, and Audie's Tony's probably one of the better wing defenders in the country. And, made it really difficult for him to catch and shoot. And obviously Audie's Tony's just a terrific on-ball defender as well. So we tried to do some things to free him up, but I got to do a better job as a coach of getting some packages because he's one of our best offensive players. And I think, this is part of when you come into a year and you're considered one of the better offensive players in the league and you're a focal point of what we're doing offensively, you're going to see difficult things defensively from opponents. And when you're playing a great opponent like Arkansas, so I think it's a little bit of both. But we got to do a better job, and I think JD will learn and grow from this.
All right, Justin.
Coach, there was a pretty big foul and free throw disparity. Obviously, I know you want to play aggressive on defense, but what did you feel about that difference, especially in the second half?
I don't get into all that. I thought early on in the second, I don't get into all the reasons why. We'll go look at the tape. I don't really ever complain about officiating. I thought those guys out there just doing their jobs. I've learned over the years, sometimes you go back and watch the tape and they get a lot more stuff right than we do, and that type of thing. So I don't ever complain about that. That's certainly not what I'm going to point to. I did think that early in the second half there in the bonus, and I thought we needed to just really focus on, being a little more disciplined around the basket. I thought on drives we were getting handsy and they were calling that kind of stuff. But you look down and you would like to be to the free throw line a lot more. And there's a big disparity, 24-32 for them and 11-13 for us. And, that's a tough recipe to win close games.
Justin, another one for you.
Yeah, I mean, look, you played 2 top 15 teams, obviously got to win last night, played close tonight. How do you feel about your team coming out of 2 pretty tough back-to-back tests?
Well, guys, I'm pissed off when we lose. I hate it. I hate losing. I hate the feeling of losing. So I'm, right now in a mood because we lost. And I can't change that. But big picture, I love my team. I love my team. I think we proved on the national stage we can play with people. And last night was a heck of a lot of fun. And tonight we were right there against, as you mentioned, probably a top 10 team in the country. So I think big picture, there's a lot to be proud of, a lot of things we can build on. But right now, I'm just pissed off that we lost, and that's just the way it feels when you lose. And that's why I don't like to feel this way.
Keith, did you have one more?
Sure, Wes, they jumped out to a 7-0 advantage on the offensive glass. That felt like a time where Odie typically kind of uses his energy to propel the team and get through that. You seemed slow on the trigger on Odie. Was that just a matchup thing?
No, we're still, and we've talked about this a bunch with you guys. We're still trying to figure out combinations, lineups, rotations, and I'll be the first to say I'm not going to sit here and defend that I get everything right or that we're getting everything right. It's just difficult. We got a team with great depth. We got a lot of really good players, and it's going to take some time to figure this whole thing out. I thought Odie was terrific. Like look at his line, and you couldn't get a rebound there on the last possession. I probably should have had him in the game. I mean, we put him back in there. Got a stop, came down, executed an action, and scored. That's the kind of stuff you do as a coach, but that's the kind of stuff you learn from as you go through the early part of the season. So I hate that we got to learn with the loss. We'll get better trying to figure the rotation out, but nothing specific of why Odie came in later or anything like that. I think all of our guys that are playing in those 4 positions have been excellent, and they all deserve more minutes. And we got 5 guys playing in 2 spots, and we got to kind of figure that stuff out as we move forward.
All right, last one here from Justin.
Coach, we talked about the fouls and the rebounds, but they only shot 35%, under 20% from 3. How did you feel about your defense outside of those other things?
Yeah, I thought defensively we were pretty darn good for the most part, Justin. There's a stretch there where they get 5 points in transition because I just didn't think we sprinted back. We don't sprint back, get matched. They pitch it ahead, drive and kick. Like I said, it's a big 3. Then the next possession they pitch it ahead and go lay it in, and like those 2 possessions, that allowed them to take the lead because we just don't sprint back on defense. Those are the ones you think about as a coach. But I thought over the course of 80 minutes in the last 2 nights, I thought we gave great effort to defend, and I'm proud of the progress we've made defensively here over the last, 6 weeks or so going back through preseason practice.
All right. Thanks, Coach Miller.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.